Again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. Thank you very much for joining me here today for this slightly special speed build. This is the first time I'm doing a face cam sort of reaction as I'm going through the speed build, so if this is something that you guys would like to see more of, please let me know. I'm not going to do it for all of the speed builds, but I am going to do it for some of them. So as you can see from the beginning, we are going to be doing an industrial style apartment inside Myshuno today, so sit back, grab a drink and let's get going. So here we are building the apartment. I've wanted to do an industrial style speed build for quite some time, and I picked up on some images on Pinterest, obviously, you know, because that's just what I do, and I found some sort of reference images that inspired me for this. The floor plan I sort of came up with on my own, although it's not really that sort of detailed or it's not complicated, so it's nothing too special, and I haven't actually included a picture of the floor plan in the final images, but if you have already downloaded this apartment then you can see. So there's a large, well, it's not even large, it's like a master bedroom to the left hand side of the property. There's a main bathroom, and then there is also a study or an office, however you want to sort of call it, and then there's sort of like it's not open plan, but it's definitely, I don't know, more open plan than it would be if there was like a full wall there. So what I did was I built a wall, and then I used I think it was an archway from Journey to Batu, and then I also used these windows from, I want to say they're from Get to Work. If I'm wrong, then I'm sure someone will correct me, because I'm not too good with knowing what packs are with what items are with what packs, and so that's how I created this sort of open archway here. So I think that looked quite nice, and there is also a small dining area in the kitchen, but then also on the outside of it there is a separate dining room table as well, so your Sims have the option of where they'd like to eat. And then in the living room there's a really cool fireplace area. Now it is on a platform, so if you do download this you will have to just re-raise the platform, because this is something that I talked about on my Twitter, I think it was yesterday. We still don't have the option at the moment to upload apartments with platforms, which is something that's really frustrating for me and for a lot of builders as well. And I'll be honest, I'm a bit frustrated that we're still not able to really upload apartments properly as well. So obviously we can upload apartments, but we have to have there's a workaround that we have to go through to actually upload them, so we have to bulldoze some of the walls to be able to upload it, which I find and I'm sure a lot of other people find really frustrating as well. And so I do hope that in a future update they consider maybe giving us an option to actually upload apartments, and also upload apartments with platforms, because there are so many apartment ideas I have that will utilize the platform tool, but I've always said that the builds that I create I want to make available to you guys, and so I don't want to be building stuff just for the channel's sake and then you guys can't actually download it. That defeats the point for me. And so I do hope that this is something that they consider fixing in the near future. But that is the kitchen now pretty much done. The only thing that does change within this is the colour swatch ever so slightly. So the rug isn't blue, and then we also change the light fixtures to just a white, and then the rug in the corner also changes to a white. So I think I liked the blue, but because there was no other blue in the apartment, I kind of decided against it. And so this is the platform fireplace that I was talking about. I actually got this idea, I was watching a program yesterday on television, I can't remember what the program was called, and I saw that they'd they went to visit a property and it had like a fireplace within it, and it was sort of built actually into an archway on the program, and I started to do it at the beginning when I started to build this. I don't know if you saw that there, and then I decided to just leave it more open, just because it's not a very big fireplace, or well, it's kind of big but it's not like humongous, so I don't think it could really carry off the archway, and so that's why I got rid of that. And so we end up just popping some sort of like decorative items on here just to make it look really nice. So this is one of my favorite features of the apartment, but as I said, when you do download it, please, if you want to raise the platform, obviously, then this is how it should look, but obviously if you don't want a platform there, then you can just leave it as it is as well. And then this is the dining space too, so I'm really happy that I put this here, because initially I didn't really know what to do with the space in front of this large archway here, which I think looks really cool. I think it gives off that real industrial rustic vibe that we were going for with the apartment, so I'm really happy with how that looks. And then we shortly move on to the living room, but we're just adding some extra details in here, and then I was trying to work out which curtain I could put there, and so I end up using that curtain from, I think it's from Island Living, but I really like that curtain. I think it looks really, really good. And then this is the living room here. So I absolutely love this coffee table from the base game, I think this is from, and it definitely gave off the vibe that I was going for with this apartment. So I call this apartment, it's more like industrial rustic rather than pure industrial, because there are some very homey rustic elements to it, and so I didn't want it to just be a plain old industrial apartment, because that's been done before, and so I just decided to do this, which I think looks, I really, really like how this looks. I think it ended up looking really nice, so I am happy with it. And then again, just going in and cluttering up, because you know, everyone knows that I absolutely love clutter. I think some of my builds probably have too much of it, but that is just my style of building. I don't know whether I should be doing, like, as a challenge, I could do like a minimalistic apartment or a minimalistic house. I did struggle even when I was doing my Japanese inspired builds, because I think a lot of Japanese architecture that I've seen is quite simplistic, and yet my Japanese builds that I did with the new pack, Snowy Escape, I think ended up being more cluttered than they should have been, but that's just my style of building, and so I didn't want to sort of get rid of that, my style, if that makes sense. I like to throw myself into it and sort of make it mine. And so with this one here, I also love the fact that I kept these exposed pipes there. I think that looks absolutely amazing, and they're really the only place that we actually put them. I think I probably should have put some more pipe work around the apartment, but there was just no space by the end of it, because as you can see, it's pretty full so far and we haven't even finished it yet. And so I also came to realise that there are a lot of lamps and items just in general from the base game that have that rustic element to them, like the chair, the lamp, the coffee table. I think they all look really, really good, and they are all base game, so I think that's pretty cool. And I have been inspired recently to do a base game only build. I know April, or some of you might know her as Miss Simrina, one of my very good friends, has done a few base game only builds, and they look unbelievable, and I don't think I could do anything anywhere near as good as that, because I rely far too much on packs, but that's okay, you know. I think I would quite like to challenge myself and sort of see what I could come up with a base game only build, because I have mentioned before that there is only one that I've built on the channel, and so I definitely think that I need to expand my horizons just a little bit more so that we can see what I can come up with. And then this entryway here ended up being really quite large, and you know, this potentially could have been a 3-bedroom property. However, the idea I had was I wanted it to be quite open and spacious, and so that's why we didn't go for that. We didn't opt for the 3rd bedroom, just because I think it would have taken away from the sort of open plan feel of the apartment. And as I said, I am quite happy with how this looks. And so I end up also doing this sort of archway thing. You might notice throughout the apartment that there are these sort of archways in front of doors, and I've done that just to add a little bit of I don't know, it's like a quirk that the apartment has, and I do quite like how that looks. And as I said, and so the master bedroom has a double door going into it, and it's not a grand master bedroom or anything like that, but I thought it would be kind of cool to have a double, sort of like double doors, because I think it's true to the style of the apartment, so I thought that was quite cool. And then I had absolutely no idea what to put on these walls, and so I ended up just throwing some random artwork that I thought might look quite nice, and so that's what we end up doing here. And I've never used that poster before, but I thought that looked kind of cool. And then this was initially going to be a bedroom, but then I decided to make it an office an office instead. I haven't even had a drink yet. An office instead, because I can imagine the sim or the sims that live here are quite career driven, or this is sort of like the backstory that I've had in my head. They're quite career driven, and they would use this to either work from home, that's obviously quite important right now, or they would use it to just work when they're not at work. And so that's why I decided to do this. Obviously, if you do download this and you want it to be more family friendly, then you can just change this room into a separate bedroom. I don't think it would take too much work. You could literally probably just replace the desks and replace it with a bed. I don't think that would be too much work. And I did want to make sure that I made like a corner desk to go in here, because I think it gives off the right sort of vibe. So that's why I've done that. And yeah, I am overall very, very happy with how this looks. And we even end up putting a fireplace in the office. And I think it's the fireplace from the Eco Lifestyle Pack, if I remember correctly, which is going in just a minute, because I decided I had like a light bulb moment and I thought I want to put a fireplace in here. That was very important to me. And then we just pop a chair down, and then we're just adding some extra little details just to make it look a little bit more lived in, a little bit more homey. So that's what we end up doing. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this. I'm gonna be honest, I am pretty pleased with that. I'm even pleased with how it looked in the like intro video as well, because I think a lot of the time my intro videos are like hit and miss, but I think this one actually looked half decent, so that's quite good. And even the bedroom's quite nice. It's, again, not my best bedroom, but it's okay, you know, it's quite nice, so I am happy with it. And so this is the bathroom. Now it's very narrow, it's only 2 tiles wide, and so I probably could have fit a bath and a shower if I was clever, but I don't have time to be clever. And so so we end up just popping a shower in, but I think that's okay. As I said, I think the Sims that might live here are quite career driven, so who has time to have a soak in a bath when you have work to do, you know, like you got to be in and out sort of thing. And so that's going to be the story that I go with this, you know, believe me or don't believe me, whatever. And so yeah, we're just finishing up and adding some final touches here, because again, I had absolutely no idea what to put on the walls, and so we end up just doing, I don't know, like this random sort of light thing, which I think looks okay, you know, it looks fine. And then this is the bedroom, and obviously I had to use this bed because I think it just screams like rustic, and I don't think it screams industrial, but it definitely screams rustic to me, and so that's why we decided to go with this. And again, just mentioning, there's nothing too special about this bedroom, but that's alright, you know, it's functional, it looks okay, so that's the main thing, you know. And then I wanted to put the wardrobe on an angle, because I think they look so cool when they're on an angle in a bedroom. I think for screenshots they look absolutely amazing. And then I decided to put like a TV unit in, and so that idea kind of went out the window pretty quick, and so we just pop it against the wall, but that's okay as well, you know, it's all good. And so this is the TV unit I was referring to, and I don't know why I decided to put this in here. I think I didn't know what else to put on the wall, and so this takes up quite a lot of room, so I thought it was quite clever, really. And then I'm trying to work out what on earth like I put everywhere else, because I think I get to the point where I feel like I've used a lot of the items that I want to use, and then I'm like, okay, now what do I put down? But I am going to leave you guys here. But if you'd like to download this apartment, it is now available to download under the gallery, on the gallery, under my Origin ID, which is RachelPedd. As always, tray files are linked down in the description below, and screenshots are at the end of the build if you would like to see what the apartment looks like in game. But thank you so much for joining me here today. Take care, and I will see you next time. Bye.